You did it. This is day 5 of the challenge. This is day 5. I hope by now you have gotten your homework done. After today, this is when I'm going to review all submissions. And if you have done all the homework, whether you're in the free program or not, you will be invited to participate on PSI TV chat. All right. So today is day 5. No homework will be given today. It's just a wrap up, some more information, and just tying up the whole visibility plan concept. All right. Acts 18, 1 through 4. After this, Paul left Athens and went to Corinth. And he found a Jew named Aquila, a native of Pontus, recently come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had commanded all the Jews to leave Rome. And he went to see them, and because he was of the same trade, he stayed with them and worked. For they were tent makers by trade. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and tried to persuade Jews and Greeks. Now, what I wanted to show you here is a couple of things without really doing a theological dissertation on that. That's not what this is about, guys. I use the wisdom of the Bible to help me make wise business decisions. If you can receive the Bible as a wisdom book, whether or not you believe there's a God or believe in my God, if you can receive the Bible as a wisdom book, there is much wisdom here. Paul left Athens and went to Corinth. Paul is traveling. Paul has a message he needs to share, and he is moving from place to place. Back in those days, there was no internet, there was no social media, and this was a method of getting mass distribution of any kind of message or service or whatever. So he's traveling. The other thing here is that I underline is because he was of the same trade, he stayed with them and worked. When you have something in common with someone, it's a quick connection point. It's a quick resonation. It's a quick alignment. So when you are doing your marketing, when you are building your brand, you have to understand that you have got to find a way to connect with your ideal audience. Not everybody, as much as you think your product, your service, your message is for everybody, I'm sorry to tell you, it is not for everybody. And if you think it is for everybody, you will absolutely reach nobody. If you're trying to chase two rabbits at the same time, you'll catch absolutely none. So you want to find a way to strike alignment and resonation with the exact people you're trying to reach. And one quick way to do that are things that are in common with you. Very often your target audience, very often your target audience is who you were in the past. So for me, teaching visibility and media and all of that, I'm able to do it because I've walked the journey many of you are walking now. I remember what it is to have 0 followers, be not confident on camera, not disciplined in showing up online consistently. I remember all of that. And I also know the difference of being in that space and being where I am now and seeing the difference of consistency, of posting, of different kinds of content, of showing up, of just doing the due diligence. Okay. So go back in your memory and remember the journey you are on, all the things that brought you to here. These are going to give you a lot of alignment connection points. The other thing was I underlined every Sabbath. That speaks to the consistency of doing the thing. Okay. So there has to be consistency. The other thing here is that Paul went to the synagogue. He's going where his ideal audience was. So this is another reason why all of what we have been doing this past challenge is so vital, because wherever you are right now, whatever level of influential reach you have, many of you are big fish in small ponds. Some of you are small fish in small ponds, but some of you may be big fish in small ponds. What do I mean? You're well known at your church, at your school, at your job, at your organization. at your networking group, whatever. But outside of that, nobody really knows who you are. So what we want to do is, by expanding our influential reach through authority signals, through the visibility plan, through our YouTube video, through media mentions and being on TV and going on podcasts and all of those things, you expand the number of people who become exposed to you. That's like the modern day version of traveling. Now, I still believe in live events, and I still believe in going to different networking groups and all those opportunities. And you need to do it consistently. Okay. All right. By this time, all the homework should be in. There's no homework, no new homework today. This is the final day of the challenge. If you want an opportunity to be invited today to PSI TV, all the homework should be in. And this is not over the course of 10 years now. So once I see that you have opted into the course, there is a short timeline for me to see that all the homework has been in, and then you lose the opportunity. This is not if you get it done in a year because you've gotten it all done. No, that's not how it works, guys. I don't have the bandwidth for that. And by the time you send the emails, they'll be buried, maybe even deleted. So you need, from the time you have signed up to the time you get to this last day, this is one extra day with no homework, to give you an opportunity to get it all in a short window, so that once I see day 5, the last piece of homework come in, I can go back through a very short window of emails and identify that you've completed all the homework. That is the only option for getting the invite. If you have done all the assignments, again, in a relatively short window, and you paid for the upgrade, you paid for the VIP experience, you will at least get your video on UGC TV. But getting invited to PSI TV, where I have significantly more influential reach, that is by invite only. Okay, so there's no homework today. This is your last opportunity to submit homework for you to get an invitation to the day 6 PSI TV experience. Okay, this is an example of a result from one of my more recent challenge runs, and that was the last time I did a group version of this challenge. So Manellis came to the challenge. He was one of the few that completed all of the homework. That's the only reason why I'm sharing him with you. And although he did come to the challenge with a YouTube channel, he had 2 videos on the channel, nothing for the people who had never subscribed to his channel before. And because he opted for the upgrade, he took several upgrades, by the way, we were able to help him optimize his YouTube channel a little bit more. Now, to really have a fully optimized YouTube channel, it takes more than just what we did here, in terms of, he only had the 2 videos, and by the time we were done, he had a third, right? So the YouTube optimization offer that I do have, should you be interested in it, is on platform optimization and then on video optimization. We were able to execute the on platform optimization, but the on video is an ongoing thing. And it's the on video optimization that really helps YouTube to suggest your videos and gives you more content, so that when people type in something into a search, that you have more opportunities to match their search. So while I'm saying he has an optimized, it was optimized for where he was, but he had no media sheet. And he certainly didn't have an optimized media sheet. If you don't have a media sheet, you can't be optimized. And he had no clue about his level of visibility or how to fix it. So he also participated in doing the Reachology score and meeting with me. Now, he has written several books, and he has now been doing some podcasts. He was a guest on PSI TV. Let me show that to you. So because he opted for some upgrades and so forth. So Manellis ended up being interviewed on PSI TV. And this got him 1,322 YouTube views, 67 comments, very interactive on the YouTube video. And the reason why I showed this, guys, is because although this video lives also on PSI TV, TV does not give visible metrics. Metrics exist, but they're not visible to the public. And this is a beautiful thing, because if you had a video on YouTube, for example, that had no social interaction, you had 0 views, 0 likes, that is a signal that there's no authority. People won't even watch it to decide if it's worth watching. This is the big difference between being on TV and being on a social media platform, guys. When you're on TV, because the metrics are not visible, people are going to view your content simply A, because you're on TV. That's already an authority signal. And B, because they don't have some external validation, they're going to watch it just because. When it's on social media and all these other people have had an opportunity to like or subscribe or to write comments, it creates a buzz to allow others who probably would not have watched it say, oh, let me go check this out. But when you have 0 views and 0 likes, they don't even look at the content at all to see if it's worth watching. And a lot of you have valuable content out there, but because you don't have the social metrics, people just don't bother. The Bible refers to people as sheep, and we really, really are. Humans, the human nature is we prefer groups. Groups are safe. Groups tell us that this has already been validated and checked out. So when there is a lack of this social validation, no matter how great your content is, most times people will not even bother to take a look. So this is one of the reasons why, in addition to our PSI TV exposure on Apple, Roku, Amazon Fire and Vita, we also, for the PSI TV experience, mirror it on our social, press, all kinds, depending on the package you get. So he had this experience on YouTube. It was repurposed to other platforms as well, podcasts, Instagram, TikTok, influence media news, all of that. But on Instagram, for example, he also got 421 likes. This is for a guy who went from no exposure, 0. He had books out there on Amazon, not even 1 review. Okay, so I'm talking about a true professional. This is a guy who is a high intellect, an intellectual, has written several books, but he just did not have any authority signals. But his stuff was good, but he just didn't have the authority signal. So because he invested in his brand, now I'm not going to tell you that this is going to get him, I'm no Oprah, but he has gone from 0 to a massive amount of audience reach that he would not have had on his own. This is why I encourage you to use your media sheet, your one sheet, and pitch yourself to various shows. And if you want to come to PSI TV, I'm looking for it too. I'm looking for the information for me to help me decide if you'd be a guest in alignment with what we do. Here's another example of results. Before I show you this, so LinkedIn sent me a message saying, we wouldn't be us without you. My profile, when I got this, was viewed 9,744 times. This is what LinkedIn says. More profile views lead to more opportunities. See who's visited your profile and connect with them. Now, I happen to have a professional level LinkedIn page, so I can see people who have looked at my profile, whether or not they're connected to me. But I am invested in my visibility, guys, right? I'm invested in my visibility. Are you invested in yours? So here's some more. So Kasona Coates was a guest on PSI TV again. Again, a professional. She had her own academy where she was teaching people who didn't have the capacity to read for whatever reason. They had reading challenges as adults. So she had her own academy. A professional. She has her master's and all of that. She's written this book. And again, she had 0 visibility. She was a guest on PSI TV. This is a Google screenshot. So I went to google.com and put in her name, and there we go. PSI TV content was her page 1. And that is because she had nothing before. Now, when you have some kind of visible presence and Google is going to pick up some of your stuff, it will eventually pick up PSI TV because our stuff takes time to curate and all that. But if you have 0 content or 0 authority things, our stuff tends to come right up front, right away. Here's another example. Dr. El Faki was also a guest on PSI TV. Here he is on a post we did is on page 1. Dr. Trudy PSL post, but it's Dr. El Faki is what I check for. So Dr. Muntasir El Faki holds. This is a post I did because he was a guest on PSI TV, part of the visibility strategies that we over here at PSI TV use to give our guests mass visibility. PSI TV is a standalone opportunity. So you don't have to be a part of our non-devaluer program to be on PSI TV, but TV is a core cornerstone of the non-devaluer because to build your name of value, media and press mention are strong authority signals. We do other things for you as well and help you execute other things, but TV was never really intended to just be a standalone. We sell it as a standalone, but so you can do that, but it is a core part of building out a visible, authoritative, credible brand. So this is, like I said, the wrap up of this. Should you want to continue staying connected to me, working with me, making money from the relationship we have, because you've experienced this challenge, you could become an affiliate for us should you desire to do that. If you share this challenge with someone and they opt for the upgrade, you will get a 40% commission of the registration fee. Okay. At this point in time, if you're part of the VIP group, go ahead and make sure that your video's in so we can upload that to our Roku channel, UGC TV. If you have done all the homework, whether you were in the free program or the upgrade, you had to have completed all the assignments. And then you look out for your invitation to be a guest on PSI TV. And again, the window of time, because we want execution, guys. A lot of times we procrastinate and we just don't get things done. That is going to create gaps in your visibility. So part of the challenge was not just to execute some things, but to get them done within a very short window of time. And when you do that, the email stack will be quite visible for me. But if you let too much time go by, I'm sorry. Even if you sent it in, I may have deleted the email. It's too far away from when you did it, and you will not have a guest opportunity on PSI TV. But you can opt to buy into being an interviewed guest on PSI TV as a standalone offer. Consider joining our non-devaluer program. And if not, then hey, it was great connecting with you at this level. If it was the free level and I never got a chance to meet you in person, then look out for other opportunities where I do a live or something like that. If you've participated here, you are a part of my network, and I love making the human connection with people who I just have a digital relationship with. I promise you, I love connecting with the people who are in my network. Dr. Trudy Behrman here. Thank you for participating at the highest level. You showed up for yourself. You showed up for your family. And if you showed up and did everything, you can also show up on PSI TV. It's been my pleasure.